So today we're going to go over the guild boss, or the daily guild boss. Have a look at how you set up a team, why you should do it, the rewards that are available, and that sort of thing. It's going to be very much a generic and basic guide, so let's jump in and have a look at it. Hello and welcome, I'm Mr. Paul, this is Mr. Gaming. We're back into Watcher of Realms and we're having a look at the daily guild boss, or soon will be known Drake's Chasm, as the weekly guild boss comes out soon. Say soon, or it's on Forerunner server, so we hope it will come to global soon. So this is the daily guild boss. Now it comes in a variety of difficulties: easy, normal, hard, and then it goes on to nightmare. Nightmare 1, 2, 3 and 4, and each variant of the guild boss getting somewhat previous one. Now you do want to make sure that you're in the right guild that is doing the right level of guild boss that you are. Now when you get the guild boss down to 0 health, he becomes seriously injured and you get double the rewards. The dragon has been defeated, double rewards will now be available the next day. So when you attack the guild boss, you do every 10,000 damage you do to him, you get 1 blood. 1 blood contributes to the number of points you get. The more blood that you do to him, the more dragon blood you get, the higher the reward you get, and the higher difficulty you can do on the boss. So the higher up you go and the more blood you do, the better the rewards you get. Now there are a couple of points that you should remember. So the first one is in Nightmare. When you first do Nightmare, very top chest, you will then start to see legendary summoning crystals. So you can actually start to get them as a drop. If you're doing them in a guild that is also killing Nightmare, then you will get 2 chests. So there is 2 chances that you can get the legendary summoning crystals, which is nice. Now, also other points. Nightmare 2, the epic chest of Nightmare 2, you will then start to see legendary skill crystals. One of the most important resources in the game. It's not easy to skill up your legendary heroes. This is how you do it, and they're not easily obtainable. So need to make sure when you're getting up to Nightmare 2, epic chest is what you want, and that is at, let's have a quick look. Epic chest there is at 1,100 blood. So when you're doing that, make sure you're on a guild that is also doing that with you, and then that way you can get double the rewards. Top chest. Something I'm hunting for now and having no joy. Epic Hero Soul Stones. You can start to get them. Nightmare 2, top chest. And then lastly we've got Nightmare 3, the legendary chest. You can actually start to get legendary Hero Soul Stones. But they don't drop often, but they can drop from there. Now the Soul Stones, whether they're legendary or epic, allow you to upgrade your heroes' awakening state, so from 1 down to 5. So, and you can do that to any hero you like. You just need Soul Stone, whether it be epic or legendary. So they're the points of the rewards you can get them from, and they are the best resource in the game, probably, and also the hardest resource to get in the game as well. So these are the places you can get them, so that's why you want to keep doing this and making sure that you're doing it every day. And also make sure that you're in a guild that's doing it with you, and then that way when you kill the boss, you can get double the rewards. You have double the chance of getting them. The chance is very slim, but you have 2 very slim chances of getting them, which is nice. Now, how do you attack the boss? So I'm going to hit fight, and then you can fight the boss, and it is that simple. At the start of the day, you're given 2 Crusade Runes every day. Now you can use them anyhow you like. You can use 2 of them on the same boss, but generally what most people do is they use one on an easier level than on more of a push level. So that's essentially how people break them up. You can buy extras. When you click on the start, you're given a choice by 1 chance to challenge the guild boss with 200 diamonds. I wouldn't recommend doing that. And the other place you can get them from is once a month. You're given an additional one in your daily sign-in. So there we go, there's a daily sign-in, Crusade Rune, and you can get an additional one there. So that's another point you can get it for. And on that day you'll have 3 to use. So don't forget to use them and make sure you do the guild boss. Now when we're attacking the guild boss, we're going to fight. Now we have got a playtest, so you can test up teams now, and you can sort of play around with however you want to build up your team. You can have a mock battle, and you can see how good or bad it is. Now essentially, if you want to make up a team, you will want a healer. Now, I say healer, That's in its loosest possible term, because the first healer we're going to look at is Dolores. Now, she isn't here to heal, which is quite weird. The secondary part of it is that she heals, but the first part of it gives a massive attack bonus. So we want to be using that. Now after Dolores, we want to use a healer. I would generally use Midan, or now I would use her instead. Now that is because they are multi-target healers. If you're using a single target healer like Vortex, Hollow, something like that, then you will want to make sure that you've got some speed on your healers, keep them going around and making sure they're healing fast enough. Now, what's next? We're going to want to put some ground units down to do some fighting for us. I would say a maximum of 3 fighters or ground units is probably what you need. So we'll take our 3 there, and then after that you're going to want 3 range DPS. That can be a marksman or it can be a mage. So if we have a look at our marksman and mage, then we will take a couple of marksmen, we'll take a mage as well. What we've done is we've now got 8 champions or heroes that we can put down on the ground. Select 10, but we will only be placing 8 on the ground. That leaves us 2 spare slots. What you should be doing, you can have a look at the factions and see which faction you've done. So I've got quite a few here. So if I come across, I now select that faction, I can look. Now in that faction, do I have a faction? I do. That's handy. I have a faction lord there. Just swap those places over. It would then tell me Nightmare Council, faction lord, and then Brass Lord to activate increases faction team members' basic attributes by 10%. And every time a faction team member is deployed, all deployed faction team members gain 5, 10, 15, 20 and 35% attack speed, respectively up until 35%, but the healing received are reduced by 20%. So you can have a quick read over what they do. You don't have to deploy Wrath at all, or your Lloyd bonus, but you have to be aware this slot is available for you. Even if you're only making a team up to use 6, make sure that you're thinking, well actually I want that available for me. Now I've only got the 1 in this team, so let's have a look. There she is. Deploy Leia as a Lord to activate basic attributes up by 15%. Periodically increases damage and multiple healing by 30% for 20 seconds. More factionizer, the more frequency it occurs. Right, so maybe I don't want to use her for that, so I could move her out of there. I could look, are there any more factions? Well, move that there, and now we've got some more, so we can have a look around. And do I have, there we go, Faction Lord here as well for the Infernal Blast. So you can have a look around and mix and match to see what teams will benefit from what Lord bonuses and what Lords you actually have. Bear in mind, quite often they do Shard Summon events, so at the moment there's one on for Orc, but before that there was a Buzo, and a Buzo was a Lord. It was a Cultist Lord, wouldn't be any use here, but be a Lord all the same, so you could theoretically put her in, select her, and she would increase everyone's attributes by 10%. At the moment they've got Rork in, so Rork is a Northerner, and he was a Northerner Lord, you'd be able to put him in that boost as well. So bear in mind, even when you might not want or need the champion that the faction's being offered, or the Shard Summon event is being awarded for, you may want the Lord skill that goes with it. So you might want to bear that in mind. Right, let's jump in and have a little play test about what we want to do when the boss is running, and how we're going to build up our team, that sort of thing. And a lot of these things will go hand in hand with when you do the next guild boss that's coming out, or when you go on and play the game for future as well. So let's skip through this part. The boss comes in, breathes heavily. Now, let's have a look at the monster manual. There's the boss, he's got some HP, he does some attack, he's got defense and magic resistance. These are both even, that's worth knowing. So it doesn't matter if you bring someone who does physical damage or whether you bring someone who does magical damage, they're both going to do the same respective amounts of damage. So they've got the same defense to overcome. And when we have a look down at him, he's got a couple of abilities. In fact, he's got 5 in total. So he's got Scorching Spit. The Dragon exhales a Scorching Dragon Breath that deals medium damage to all targets. So that's everyone that's in. Destructive Spit. The Dragon gains a shield and prepares to release a destructive spit. The only way to stop it is to break the shield as soon as possible. And we'll come on to that shield and the destructive spit while we're doing the boss fight. Dragon Claw. Dragon raises her claws, dealing damage to melee heroes within range. There's only melee heroes, or ranged heroes will be fine. Infernal Roar. Dragon's Roar is filled with soul-destroying power, dealing massive damage to the target. Okay. Meteoric Impact. Dragon summons meteorites that smash into each hero on the ground, burning and inflicting damage on them. So that's essentially what he does, and he goes through this cycle, bringing up his shield and doing the fights in between. So when we start a boss fight, one of the things we want to make out of it is the button over here to the right allows us to change our viewing angle. So if we have a look from here, this is a much easier way to see what's happening and click on our heroes. If I place Dolores down, it doesn't really matter which way I face her, it's always going to be the same. So that's where she would be. If I place her there, that's where she's always, that's where she's going to affect, that's her area of range. So I can get 1, 2, 3 fighters in there, and then I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 range targets, sort of. Now we'll come on to that in a minute. Now, next thing I want to do is I'm going to place my other healer down. I'm going to place my healer down here. Now see, when I place my healer down here, I then have only 2 fighters in range. I look at it, that overlap with Dolores. It's those 2 there, they overlap, and that's fine there. Now, next thing I want to put down is, if I put down some fighters, I can put down a fighter here, because that's in range of Dolores. I can then put my next fighter there, that's in range of Dolores. Now, my issue then becomes, my next fighter that I place down, I put down here, they've got to have some sort of sustainability if I'm going to go out this far, because they're only in range of Dolores, they're not in range of my main healer. Remember, Dolores was only brought here to give an attack boost, so she's not here to do massive amount of healing. So wherever I put out on this spot needs to have some sustain with them. Now, when I go on and start to place some range DPS, I can place my main here, fine. And then if I look here, this spot here, that misses the boss. If I face it up, it also misses the boss. This spot here is almost useless to me, to be honest. And the same goes unless you've got enough range to put here. But if I go here, then what I've got to remember is that's not in range of Dolores. I've only got that target there to deal with. So I have to put my second range DPS here. That only gives me 1, 2, and realistically 3 slots my range DPS to be in. That is now everyone here covered by Dolores' attack boost. You want to make sure that you're maximising where you put your heroes down and maximising the space. Again, now the boss doesn't have any major abilities such as attacking or putting an AoE down in one area, so we've got to space out heroes. We can group everyone together and mass heal everyone in a one-er and give everyone the same attack bonus as well without any great issues. And then if we want, we can then change the camera angle back to something more traditional, but it's less easy to click on our heroes, but we've still got the bottom of the screen where you can do the ultimate. Now here comes the shield. The shield is up, as we saw before, shield comes up, then we've got to get it down quickly before the destructive spit comes on, which deals massive damage. So we'll just play through this, trigger off some ultimates, and there's a shield down. The boss comes in all dazed state, and then we can maximise our DPS here. Now the shield comes on at 3 times. Now on the screen for you now are the shield times, or at least the times that they came up on this recording. Now, as far as I'm aware, the shield timings are the same no matter what level you go on and fight the boss. So whether you're on the beginner or Nightmare 4, these are the same times. And to remember what the shields are, they get progressively stronger as you go on in the game. So the third shield is stronger than the first one, and so on and so forth. So there's the third shield. And you want to break through them. You can see the top bar is where we're breaking through it, and the bottom bar is his destructive spit. So we want to make sure that we break through the shield, or he actually gets to him dealing his damage. So that is pretty much the boss fight there. Just a basic overview on how the boss fight works, how you want to think about making up your team, and how you want to go about taking the boss down. Make sure you're in the right guild so you're getting double the rewards. And that will about do it for today. Thank you very much for your time. Now, probably do this on the weekly or something like that. We'll look at extending our teams, making them more advanced, or putting different heroes in there for specific roles, that sort of thing. If there's anything you've got curious about or anything you do want to have a look at, give me a shout, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you all in a video again soon. Till then, happy gaming. Cheers for your time. Goodbye.